Hi, my name is Shauna, and welcome to Wonder.wander Homeschool. And we are going to go over what we're doing for our summer supplements today, and for my incoming second grader and my incoming fourth grader. So these are what I like to do is I don't do a full day of school. We don't school year round, but we do some things to keep their brains kind of moving during the summer. Yeah, so it kind of helps us if there's any areas that I see that they were struggling with during the school year. I also use that time to really focus in on those skills. So they'll be confident and ready to go in the fall. So let's go into it. So for my first grader, the first thing that I'm working on is her phonograms. We're just reviewing them. She knows them, but it's really helpful for her to go over these. This is from IEW. It's a really helpful resource. It has all of them in just really fun ways where it's these stickers you put on here. They do have more you can do with the IEW curriculum and program, the Institute for Excellence in Writing. And I just am using this because I just want to really secure and reinforce all of her phonograms, because she has a hard time like with the R's and the different oo sounds, which is great though, because every tree is an oo sound, even though it looks different. So for her, it's really helpful because it's putting it into an order so that she knows, and when we're reading in a book, she can kind of remember it, because almost like a flashcard where it's like, oh, it's one of the trees, so that means I know it's going to be one of the oohs. Or any of the clouds, these ones all say air, different forms of air. And then we got the haze. Remember like the hay bales? It's going to have the A sound, these phonograms. And get the E's are going to have like the bees go to the beehive, so E sound. And kites are the I's. And then you got the cows. This one I'm not quite sure how to help her remember because it doesn't have anything to do with the S sound, but it's something to remember. And then this one, remember the U on top of the double O's on the cow? And she'll go, oh yeah, So that's helped a lot. It's been phenomenal. She did have a huge phonogram sheet for kindergarten, and it was just a list of all of the phonograms, like a big map. But I think having the pictures has made a huge difference for her for associating it with her memory. So she's not getting as ruffled. She's actually able to remember faster. Like these ones are kind of tricky because they're not exactly the phonogram, because it's, these are the letters that the A changes its sound to the ah sound. This is ah, then the AU says the ah, and then the L, T, and SH is where the U changes. So it's not completely all ahs right there, but it's working for us. So I highly recommend this. If you want to help get your kids solid with their phonograms, like the beginning ones, it is super helpful for her reading. This is for my first grader, who's my struggling reader. She's doing good, but it has been a process and a lot of patience. My fourth grader jumped into reading really easily. It just came a lot more naturally to her. So I'm just having to just remember that it is not about getting it quickly. It's about really making sure she gets the depth that she needs. So they have this where it's like the f, the ch, sh, and the w. And then all of these are really great too. There's all these rules in these, like these ones have the I that says E for some reason. These kind of weird rules that we have sometimes. Like the jail words are ones that just don't make sense. They're oddballs. You just have to memorize them. And then these ones are great because I actually underlined the letters that they disappear. They're ghost letters. They don't make a sound. They're silent. And that has helped her tremendously. She used to always get caught up on those. And then obviously the vowels. And then 2, 2, 2. So she loves it. It builds confidence for her, and it's super cute. So I highly recommend that. We have been doing this every day. There's also all of these rules back here. And my goal is for her to just have them completely memorized where she can apply them. She memorized the phonograms before, but she didn't apply them. So she'd have them on the sheet. And then as soon as you got to the reading, she just would freeze up. So to kind of reinforce that, these are still from the kindergarten set of the readers from The Good and the Beautiful. These are supplementary readers. There's 10 of them. There's no order in difficulty, but they all do have really beautiful writing. It's a little story rather than just the kind of Bob book style, So it's just about a skunk going in. She really liked this one. And at the beginning of the word, they might have some challenge words, but these are the ones that, we're going to be focusing on these, the short I, does, and today. And they're going to make sure they know that throughout. And this one. She actually was really confident on this one, which I was really encouraged by how much she's learned and grown. There's some of the challenge words here. They all have them at the beginning. So instead of it being words that have the phonograms they're working on, they just have some new words they add in from the kindergarten curriculum. And then it's just nice, easy reads. And that has really just helped boost her confidence because I'm really trying. My goal this summer is to get her into more books that are not just the curriculum-based book, the readers. So she can start really enjoying all like the picture books from the library and stuff where it is her age appropriate for like first grade, second grade. Because that's the best way to get your kid to grow is just to have them read more and more every day. So we make sure we work on that, one or two of those stories a day. And then this is like her math kind of review. She was having a really hard time with her number sense, so I let her use this. We did try using the number line, and that helped with subtraction and addition a lot more. This is just really nice to help her because she does get confused when she looks at words. Sometimes she sees a 2 and a 9, and she's thinking it's a 9 and a 2. So just a lot of this practice this summer at the supplement is to help her kind of figure that out. So I used master books. So I've always heard it's a very gentle curriculum. So it's this is stuff that she actually has gone over. So this was super easy for her, but it's always nice in the summer not to challenge them too much because it is still summertime and you do want them to feel like it and they're not being forced to do brand new math. So all this is review. Some of them I'll have her skip because the real focus I wanted to work on is the tens place, the ones place, and the number sense of the order of them going, which they do have a lot of these, like what comes before, what comes after. And so this has been a really great resource from Master Books to help with that. So we're going to keep on doing that this summer. And we'll probably get done with it earlier in the summer, and that's okay. I just want to make sure she gets that kind of reaffirmed. And then after that, we also have some dot-to-dots that my mom was able to give me from her classroom. And so just, following the ABCs. But she knows these. They're super easy. If they get too easy for her, I will probably have her let her brother use these. Looks like she's already gone through a lot of these. The numbers, this is really going to help with number sense too because it's connecting the dots. So she's seeing the order of the numbers over and over again. So that's what I kind of wanted. And it's not too small where she's going to be overwhelmed. And so I think I might just get the next level up of dot-to-dots to kind of help her just as a fun thing. Because I remember when I was a kid, summertime was fun to do math and reading because it's the little, workbooks to get through. So hopefully I can do that for her. Right now we're just doing a little handwriting practice just to reinforce so that she doesn't get sloppy with her handwriting over the summer. So I'd tell her to try to take her time so she doesn't go too fast. And so just been doing some of those. And that was from Evan Moore. And then this is something that after she finishes that, if she does, we'll do this for reinforcing all of her letter writing. And on this side, you draw a picture and then write a sentence. Draw the absolutely silly, write your own silly sentence. So this is a silly sentence they write, and then she can write her own if she wants. So we'll see how that goes. We might not get to that. That might be something we just do as a morning time in the fall, just to warm her up for her writing practice. But for now, I got it, and I may or may not use it. But we did use the silly sentences where you roll the dice, and you get to choose from different prompts, and she loved that. So I might end up doing that instead, and then save this for the fall or vice versa. And then lastly, I don't do too much history usually over the summer, but this is something I did read for her sister. It's from Sunlight's, their Heroes and Happenings book. There is another one. I don't know if I have the first one, but I do have the second one. And so I'm just, maybe once a week I'll read about one of these characters, not characters, but these people. It's stories of famous people in American history. So we got like the Marshall, some of them ones that you wouldn't normally see, and some of them that you did. The person who made the Statue of Liberty. It's got Einstein right there. It talks about when they're little, like when they're younger and growing up. It talks about where they lived. It talks about what they did. Amelia Earhart, I believe. And there's like a baseball one. So they get to learn about all sorts of characters that are real life people, which is really wonderful to see the people that made up this great country. And without it being in a full-on, history course, it's just stories, which is just really good for first graders to have gone over. And I just want to make sure that she knows these important people and faces that she would have learned in first grade. Since we did do a different history, we're doing more of a classical style of doing ancient, and then now we're going to do American history this next fall, and then we're going to do probably state history, and then we'll do Middle Ages, since that's a little bit more mature. And now for my fourth grader, I will show a little bit of what she's doing. She's been doing this in her morning time, so I'm just having her finish off this book. She loves practicing her cursive, so these are the ones she'll be finishing up over the summer. And then she's finishing off, she's in her last week of Math with Confidence, third grade. So right now she's got that to finish. And then I think she's got this little unit wrap up. She did some liters and milliliters, measurements, make your own math game. Then it's all a bunch of review, all sorts of review at the end. I love this curriculum. Kate Snow is an amazing math teacher to get us through all the foundations that she needs, where she is thriving in math, that was what I was really nervous about when I was starting homeschooling, is how am I going to teach these kids math when I was always nervous about my capability of teaching it. And she makes it really, holds your hand through it in her teacher's guide, and it's just a great experience. And then I have Word Detective. She's been working on this throughout the year too, just in the morning. She just does a few pages just to reinforce some spelling rules. And it's in a fun way. She loves all these different riddles and codes, and that's how they're doing it. So she has a long way to go with that. It'll probably last her through the summer. I do have a third grade level 1 too. I'm just kind of going from where we are, very relaxed on this. And then we will work on the third grade in the fall if we don't finish it over the summer. So it is the beginning of summer, so we will see. And then once she finishes her math, probably this next week, we will just have this to be probably 1 or 2 pages a day, just to reinforce all the math she's been doing. So this is just a supplement. I've really liked Spectrum. I used them for her writing supplement after we finished her language arts this year, and it has been really great. So it's simple, it's not flashy, but it's just something to kind of give her some math facts, probably with how many they have per page. I would probably have her do just 1 or 2 pages. Probably just one page double-sided, because they have a lot. And yeah, so that's nothing flashy, but it's what she needs to practice so she can stay with her times tables and her addition, division, all of her fractions. It's got everything that she learned. It really sums it up nicely for summertime so that she can move on and be really have a great foundation for the fall. So that is Spectrum Math for 3rd grade, just to do all the review. And then lastly, these are some just for anyone who I was talking about this on a different video, that these are the different writing where you can do the invisible ink. So there's a pen that it comes with, and it's kind of indented, so the kids helps them guide on how to draw the numbers correctly, how to draw neater for the cursive. So this one is for numbers, because my 1st grader still needs to work on the number sense and order. Sometimes she still flips them around, so it's really great if she can just practice these. And these are more like if they want to. And there's English letter. This might be something that my just graduated preschooler, who's going to be going into kindergarten, we're going to homeschool him in the fall. I think I'll probably have him do some of those too, once he kind of gets the hang of writing his letters, just to kind of help him as the letters get smaller as he gets older. Right now it might be a little too small to expect him to be writing, but that's for just drawing if they want to. It all came in the same packet, which is really nice. And this is going to be for my 4th grader to really review and practice her multiplication tables. They have them right here. And they have some math problems. They have some division problems. So this is really great. great little review that just helps with their writing too. And then she also has her cursive that is the same style as that. So I think that's everything. Oh, you know what? I have also, this is something that I don't know if we're actually gonna do. I tried doing one of it and it's just one lesson and it is awesome, but I almost need to have it be for the school year because it does take a lot of focus and it does take a lot of time to get through it. So I might be saving this for the fall and maybe I'll work on it in a slower process. It is gold. It's pure gold. It is so awesome. It's teaching, that's the word, progymnasmata, and is really good for narrating and dictating and getting more critical thinking about writing. That's what they call it, writing with rhetoric. So they start off with different kinds of stories that they are supposed to kind of memorize the different types of stories: fable, fairy tale, history, myth, narrative, and parable. And then we read a parable about the prodigal son. They had some questions about it. Then the go deeper part would be another day. And then they have where they do some, can you finish this sentence? So copy and finish the sentence. And so this was really great, but I just noticed that as we were doing it, it was just a lot to ask from her when she just wants to have a little break for the summer, because this is a different way of doing language arts that she hasn't done before. She usually has kind of an all-in-one with the good and the beautiful. And so this is a little different. So this might be a good one just to have kind of slowly work through rather than to do it unless you want to have it as your full writing language arts, which is very possible. A lot of people do use that. But I'm just going to keep and hold on to this for the right time to use it. She's not very used to copy work. And so this is really great to have that, the dictation, the copy work. I just really like it. And then I just cannot imagine over the summer trying to make her rewrite a story. She is just not ready for that yet. I would just have more fights over it, then the struggle would just be too much. That I don't have that over the summer. That's not the goal. The goal is to enjoy summer work and not to feel like she's stressed out. So maybe in the fall we would work on that and just work on it a lot more gentler. This is supposed to happen all in 1 week for each section, and I might just have to do it like into 2 weeks, or it's like every other day or something like that, because it does ask a lot, but it does teach so much that I don't want to completely skip over it. So yeah, so it goes through different myths and different types. It goes through, I think it goes through all the fairy tale, fairy tale, fable, parable, and narrative story. So, and I think at the end they write their own story. But I really like it. They have it where you can do all these different levels. I probably should have started with book 1, but we did read through a lot of fables this last year. So I kind of wanted to do that to get more into the style of what this sets up. Ideally, I would like to go through these for her and her sister and her brother. But we will see. We'll see how she takes to it in the fall. But I do want to just point that out, that this is a great option, especially if you're still looking for curriculum for the fall. This is a really great classical option that will help your child become a great writer and a deep thinker, which is something that critical thinking is just sometimes hard to teach just from an all-in-one curriculum for language arts nowadays. So yeah, this one is definitely worth it. Do get the teacher's edition and the student edition. So yeah, now that is all I have. I hope that this helps. Just hopefully it doesn't overwhelm you, because it does sound like a lot. But really, realistically, over the summer, the whole point is to remember that we want to instill a love for learning and a peace there. We don't want it to be like where we're forcing them, but at the same time, we do want to encourage them to reflect on everything they learned throughout the school year, and do that with lots of books. We're going to definitely get a book list going and some read alouds throughout the summer where they can read, and I'll probably have my incoming 4th grader do a lot of like a 1-page kind of like a book report on every book she reads, just like a couple sentences of what her book was about and what she liked, just to reinforce that she's reading all these books. I will also normally I just want to fill them up with big books over the summertime, because it's a time to slow down, and I don't want it to feel like a normal school day. So that's why I think I'm gonna wait on the writing with rhetoric. But the math, having a little bit of math, a couple pages, having a story here and there, like the history story, having them practice a little writing worksheet, and just getting like the skills like memorizing phonograms, reviewing that, and I think, and then doing some spelling worksheets. That keeps it fun, but then they're learning, and it's relaxed, gentle, but definitely encouraging reading is something I'm also gonna do with whatever books that they are wanting to read from the library. So the best thing I can encourage you to do over the summer is get a library card. They always do, at least in our area, they always do a library challenge for readers, and usually there's little prizes, and they usually get a bag, or they get crayons and stuff just for signing up. And it's a really great way to get connected to your local library. And for homeschooling especially, libraries are awesome. I'm gonna be ordering a lot of books from the library for this fall, and I will probably be back whenever I can get all of my curriculum in for the fall, and I will slowly go through each grade, including my incoming kindergartner. So I'm excited. I hope that you are having a blessed week. I hope you have a great summer. Stay safe, have fun. Remember just to keep the wonder in homeschool. Thanks. Have a great night or a great day.